Welcome back to Mule Mountain Sawmill. Today we're going to talk about log identification. I'm going to shoot some videos about mystery logs like the one behind me, and going to give everybody a chance to guess what they are before we cut them, and during and after. Of course, I'll reveal it at the end of the video. But log identification can be pretty tricky. If you read some of the forums out there, a lot of people have different opinions on what species of logs are. If the tree has leaves on it, it's pretty easy to me. But sometimes if they've been on the ground, or somebody brings me a log that the ends are dark on it and all I can see is the bark, it can get a little tricky. I'm in northeastern Oklahoma. This is one of our native species here, and a lot of people mistake different species of logs for other species. So in this business, you got to get good at it, or you might pick up the wrong log or think you have something you don't. A friend of mine, Daniel, you can tear a piece of bark off of it and throw it past his head and he'll tell you what kind of tree it is, but I can't do that. I'm not that good. So we're going to look at this log before we cut it. We're going to look at the end. I kind of bucked it a little bit, and we're going to talk about the bark for a minute, and then we're going to dig into it and see what's inside. And the more that you do this, the more you study these trees, the more you can identify what you're buying or what you're cutting, or just help someone else out. So hang on just a second and we'll get started. It's been roughed up a little bit with the skid steer. It's been on the ground about 8 months. This log was brought to me by a gentleman, and he actually thought it was walnut. It could be, but I think after we get into it, we'll find out it's probably not. Got a pretty aggressive bark on it. Very hard bark. Some of you guys probably already figured it out from the very beginning of the video. This right here explains a lot to me when I see this view. But doesn't matter. We can share this video around, and again, we're not going to tell what it is until the very end of it, so we'll see how good somebody is. This is video number 1 of hopefully many of different species. I'm ready to get into it. Again, real quick, let's there's the dark end of it. I didn't touch it, so we can see what that looked like. Bark starting to pull loose. Again, this came out of northeastern Oklahoma, but this is a pretty broad-reaching species of log. All right, let's cut it. take a layer off at a time. Start down here. I usually don't push it off that side, but for demonstration purposes I will. Okay, starting to see a little bit of grain, but not quite enough yet. But I made a lot thicker cut on this end, or on this cut, the second cut. Of course, we're going to get into the ring here in a second. Starting to figure out what it is. The bark's really kind of a dead giveaway on this tree. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shove this off, and we'll clean the next one up really good. A nice slab, by the way. That's a real nice slab. Okay. Let me clean this off. Okay, let me clean this off now. That's just awesome. All right, we're going to pour some water on it in just a second, and I'll tell everybody what it is. There's the final slab cut. Turned out pretty well. One of my favorite woods to slab up. Well, it's time to tell you what this is. Most of you have probably figured it out by now, but if you haven't, it's a native or a wild pecan, depending on where you're from. In our area, mostly people call it native. Some of the old timers call it wild. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to try to make some more. Please like, subscribe, and share. And always, safe milling.